Hello, this is Flight 111. We are now arriving at Argyle International Airport.
Well, I'm back here with you today, Saturday, the 8th day of October 2016. And I'm here down at the bottom area of the airport site. That is the side Lotus overlooking the Stubbs Bay, where they are now cutting out the area for the diversion of that access road, passing alongside the approach end of the airport. Now, no work is happening here today. It's just about 20 minutes to 12. You can see piece of equipment here, but there is no activity taking place down here currently. But I guess they will be continuing to remove this dirt area, and from the looks of things, it could very well be that the road will be passing somewhere where we have these dirt here. I don't know how much further down they're going, but if you notice on the left, they are benching the area, and no doubt later on they will probably put stabilization, maybe stone or something there to keep that bank side up. But this is what is taking place here today. No activity actually taking place, and I'm now starting my visit here at the airport site for today, Saturday, the 8th day of October 2016. Well, here we are at the area where we have the fencing around the approach lights, and like you would have known before, they have taken the fencing in about 10 feet closer to the south. So all of these poles you see here is where the fencing actually was first, but because of the fact that they're going to change the route of the road, they have now removed these fencing from here and take them in 10 feet. So right here where these poles are, they will have to be removed, and eventually they will have to start to do the road. I am not quite sure as to what is taking place here, where you see they would have done an opening, but what I am seeing is that they're building a trench, and this trench is heading all the way down to the bank side, down to the sea area. So it could very well be that it is done to channel the water down there, or they are planning to put a proper drainage system that will take the water from off the south side here down into that area. Now, I don't know if that is the case. I am only assuming, but naturally they will have to have some way of channeling this water that will be running off at the south, as you can see the amount of water settling up in this area. So we're gonna have to wait and see, but this is what this area looks like right now as they continue with the work here. In a previous video update, I show you some of these stakes, and if you can recall, we had one was down somewhere down in the stone area, and then there was another one up on the bank up there, and I took you all the way over into the bushes up there where we had a few. But now I come back here, I'm seeing some new stakes in position, and the first set have been removed. Right in front of us here, not too far from the road on my left, you can see one of the stakes. So apparently this stake was moved away from the bank side and come closer down here to the road. So what I'm gathering here is that where the stakes are, they're going to cut on the inside, which is on my right, of those stakes to make the roadway. And as I move forward, you can see another one right in front of us here, and there are two more right at the top up there. As as I move forward. Right here you're seeing another one. And the last one I show you while a couple of weeks ago coming through the bushes was that one right in front of us up there. So I am not yet sure if the road will follow the path of that stake and go up towards the bank up there rather than come over in this area. But I'm still going to wait to see exactly what happens as the work here on the roadway continues. You see the way the road is built right now, the road is sloped towards the fencing over here. So what happens when it rains, all the water from off the road runs down into that area, causing a puddle. Now, no doubt, if they were still going to use this road, we would have had the slipper drains here, which will control the water from running down here. But that is not going to be the case. So we're going to have a new road coming in, and I am sure that they're going to do whatever is necessary to control the settling up of water in this area on the outer perimeter of the fencing. I'm here at the foot of the Maconiam Hill where they are building the drainage system and at the same time continuing with the fencing work. Now this drain that you're seeing here, this was built sometime last year. This is a box drain, and like you would have noticed, the poles for the fencing, the perimeter fencing, they were actually installed between the side of the outer side of the drainage. So it formed a part of the drainage casted into between the blocks. This drain was made of blocks, concrete blocks, and plastered, and it gotten up to this point where you're seeing that slab of concrete hanging out there. It has gotten to that point and stopped. Now the drain that they are building now is not as small as and narrow as this one, but it is basically as deep as it, and it is being done a different way. And as you can see, this is the way it has been done. Now right here at the side, what they're going to do is actually build on the side where they have broken down this piece of wall here. They're going to put some blocks work around that side where they have the space there, and the water will continue to flow down here. There isn't anyone here right now, but work has been taking place here, because as I make my way in this morning, looking over from the bank up above me, I saw the guys down here getting these frames, wooden frames, in position in readiness for the pouring of the concrete to form the siding of these drains, like you would have seen further down where they would have already done some. So this is the work they're doing here right now, and most of the poles for the meshes in this area are in, except just for a short space, and I'm not sure exactly what is going to take place down there, how they're going to do it, but except for that small space, most of the poles are in. So all that is left to be done is to put the meshes in place. So like I've told you, the guys are on lunch, and I am not sure if I will catch them later on this evening as I make my way out, because they finish work at 4. But for the time being, you are seeing what they would have done so far regarding the work here on these drains here at the foot of the Maconiam Hill, the drain that is flowing from the south towards the north and emptying into the breadfruit gutter. And while the guys are working on the siding for the drain for the concrete, the rest of this drainage way is being cleared in preparation for laying down the steel and pouring the concrete. So now the back over there where you see those poles planted, we have the Rubis pipeline running on the outside of those, of where the fencing is going to be. So where you see those poles with a piece of yellowish tape wrapped around, that is to mark the spot where the Rubis pipelines are being run, so that there wouldn't be damage in the process of the work going on here. Now the two pieces of equipment behind me, their function here really is that the bulldozer itself comes, the bulldozer has a piece of attachment at the back that plows into the earth and softens the area for the other piece of equipment behind me here. This now will then come and clear out the softened earth and make it in the shape of what we have here, so that the guys can lay down the steel and pour the concrete, so that they can get the shape of the drain that they want. So that is why we have both pieces of equipment. We have some hard rocks down below, so the bulldozer plows up those hard rocks below, and then the other piece of equipment, a backhoe or whatever you call it, comes and clears the drain to look something like this, so that the guys can continue with the work here. And this is the first section that they would have done. They still have some more finishing touches to do to this. And this side, on the eastern side, they have to pour some concrete here, where they have this piece of 2x2 and nice it up to bring it to a level like over on the left hand side there. This is what it will look like after the finishing touches, where we have those pieces of 2x2 down behind us. This is what the finished work will look like. And then no doubt they will fill up here with whatever, whether dirt or stone, and nice it up. And I want to believe that around this area we'll have a roadway, so that the vehicles can drive, the security personnel can drive to check the perimeter fencing to ensure that there isn't any breach during the process or the time when the airport will be in operation. Well, the meshes are in here, just a passageway for the vehicle that will be traversing this area to go to the lab, and the guys who are working up there. That space down in between down there is what we call the breadfruit gutter, where the water from the south is exiting into drain. And no doubt they will have to put some drains here to take the water that will be running in this direction to go through into that area. As you can see, the water has already made its road under the concrete there of the fencing. So some work will have to be done here to correct that problem and channel the water in the right direction. So you're seeing the meshes up. This area over past weeks they had just the poles, and all that is left to be done is to put in the mesh here. And I don't know if they're going to put a gate, well, if they were going to put a gate, they would have already put it in, no doubt, and then the gate would be able to close and open as the need be. So because that is not done, there isn't going to be any gate here. So as soon as the guys at the lab no longer use the lab and no longer have a reason to go up there, then this area will be blocked off. Well, the work has started here to clear this area where we had the slippage of the bank up there, and which has caused some damage to the fencing in this area just below where we have the control tower. So there you can see sections, pieces of the pole that were forming the fencing there on the ground, and no doubt they will have to clear all of that debris and start to replace these poles in position. Finally, we are seeing something happening here at this area where they're building the Mustique Airways. Now we are seeing the steel columns are being mounted into position of the crane here, and I believe maybe the reason why it was held up is because they didn't get all the necessary things that they needed. So rather than to start and then have to wait, lay off and wait to start again, I guess they waited until all what they needed were on site before they start doing the work. Because I can see right here on the site contain an open container bed with steel with material for the same structure here, and last week also there was another one similar to that with the brown steel frames here. Now it looks as though that everything is on site and the work is going along full speed. We know when it rains, there's a drain somewhere up there that takes water from off that hillside and brings it down to this area. You can see the evidence of it here. Now what I am noticing here is some heavy movement of the soil in this area here. As you can see there, this is something similar to the problem we had on the roadway. I walked this area several times to get to the control tower, and as you can see right here we have this movement of this earth. So it doesn't look safe. I am not going to want to see anything serious happen here, but I'm a bit cautious. If we continue having rain and the water continue to soak through here, we might very well have the slipping away of this bank area going down to the bank side. We are here at the area where they're going to put the Met station, and for those of you who don't quite understand, it's not a building they're building here. If you have an idea of E.T. Joshua Airport, just opposite to the Rubis gas station, next to Graves supermarket, on the side of the airport, just by the fencing there, if you were to stand at the fencing and look into the airport, you will see an area on the grass that is being fenced with two strips of probably 1x2 wood painted in white, and some equipment in that surrounding area where you have the board fencing off, and it will be something like that. Those equipment that are there, those are new ones, I'm not sure. This is the area where they will be placed here at the airport site. So is where the Met officers Let me say Met for short because the word meteorological officers, it seems like a very complicated word to pronounce. Right, those officers, when they want to read the weather, and you know they normally go out to that area at 80 Joshua and get the different readings, then they send those readings to the various radio stations so that you could have an idea of the amount of rainfall or the wind and so forth. Well, here is where they will have their apparatus set up, and their office is going to be just behind where we have the control tower. That building there is where the Met office is going to be. So the guys will just come, guys and ladies, workers at the site, come here and do their reading and chance for relay the message or the information to the various radio stations, and also to give the pilots the knowledge of what the weather is like. So I'm here at the top of the hillside where we have the control tower, which is just situated here on my left. Lights are still on there. I'm not too sure if they're working with solar. Some of them are on, some one is off, need looking at. Maybe the bulbs are blown and look like LED lights. And I'm looking back at the airport, the runway strip, the taxiways, the apron, terminal building and so forth. And as you can see, the grass has been newly cut, and where you see in those patches, like some grey patches, I'm sure there is water settling up there. But you can see the drain that is taking the water right across over to the 191, and a lot of other drain has been linked to that. The water from the runoff of the grass area also run into that, because you see they have the holes there that is to accommodate the flowing off of the water from the land area, from the runway and in the grass area into that drain. So you see that the grass has been freshly cut, and you can see on the eastern side we have a nice green patch going from north to south, and things are looking good, looking up well here at the airport site. As we near the completion, and we don't have much left to be done, small bits and pieces of work to really bring this airport into full operation here at Argyle. So not too long from now the guys will be going back to work from lunch, so I might probably get some of them in action here at the site. We still have the animals, we have a lot of sheep over there grazing in the grass, but very soon this will not be, this will be a thing of the past. So I'm heading on down from up here and trying to make my way up to the north as far as I can get to see the progress of the work that has taken place here at the airport site. Now some guys are down here building something. I did not ask them what they're doing. I don't know exactly what it is. It could very well be a security booth, I don't know, but as time goes by we're going to really get a better idea as to what it is. Some time ago I showed you those holes and I know what they were for, but I don't think I told you. But now you're seeing they are for the putting up of the rails here, the guard rails, to prevent you and I from falling over and having to sue somebody. So these are the rails here being put up here at the parking area of the site, and this ramp here no doubt will be a ramp for wheelchair, Those persons have to use wheelchair going towards the terminal building. This is the ramp for them. And there's also going to be some bars like these on the side here, as you can see the hole going all the way down. So this is the security booth. Plastering has been done inside and outside, and it looks as though the bottom where the blocks are, that section look like it's gonna stay just like that. I don't know if they're gonna put stone. I hardly believe so. Looks as though they're gonna leave it just like that. And well, it looks to me as if the work is finished, and all that is left to be done is the wiring and the whitewash and painting. Meanwhile, when it rains, as you can see here, water from off that bank side runs down in that area there. So what it looks like to me is that they are making a drainage way on the inside of the roadway, close to the bank, so that water could channel through one of these drains that we have on the side of the road here. I don't know how they're going to do it, but most likely they're going to burst the road and channel the water across into one of the drains. But we're going to watch and see as time progresses. And that is exactly what this piece of equipment is doing, clearing a drainage way at the back side there of that wall, close to the bank side. They're here at the area where they're building the parking garage, which will be covered for some of the ground handling equipment. The others will be parked in this open space area here. But here is the covered area where they're gonna have parking and storage area, where you're seeing the section that has been blocked, being surrounded with blocks. That will be the storage area. Right now the electrical guys, they are laying the conduit for electrical cable, and then what will be happening after will be the pouring of the concrete. They're also putting up the ring beam at the top here, as we can see, making sure that everything is in position before they start to pour the concrete. So after this section is up, and I guess all the other sections are up to just this part in front here where we have these columns, we are going to see the concrete works. It looks as though the guys don't work here on Saturday, because no matter how I come, how much Saturdays I come, I never meet anyone working here. So apparently the person who doing this kind of work here, this work, probably is a Seventh-day Adventist. I'm not sure. Finally the meshes are in here. Last week when I came here, I was able to go through and come out at the back to see how the water has been flowing inside. And the rains that came over the past week, last week Thursday, tend to break down this bank side here. If you notice that bank area covering a part of the 191, but now the meshes are in. I am boxed in. I cannot get to go on the outside, so here am I. And it looks as though, I don't know if they're going to leave that as it is, or if they're going to build some wall on the side here to protect this section of the site from erosion. But this is what we have here. So things are actually shaping up here. We can feel the end is near. We can feel it. We can see that things are getting close, and very soon I wouldn't be surprised if by the end of this, by December, we see some sort of plane landing down here, whether a Lear or a Merry Jet or whatever. But from what I'm gathering is that before they can close E.T. Joshua, they want to ensure that at least one of the hangars is finished. But I don't know if that is possible, because it will be too costly operating from out here and still have E.T. Joshua open. But as time goes by, we're going to see what takes place, and we're looking forward eagerly to see the full operation of our international airport here at Argyle. We had rain last evening, and I can tell you, when it rained out here at the site, the drainage is so good that if you were not aware that it had rained out here and you come back here the next day, you wouldn't know that rain came out here, because the place looked as dry as if there has not been any rain. The only places you're going to find water settling is if those areas where they're working, they're not fully completed with the work. You may find a few pools of water, but the areas where they would have completed the grading of the site, you won't be able to tell if it had rained, because of the quick way the water flows off from this side. And I can tell you, because I have been here several times when it rained, to tell you that after it rained, the water run off so quickly that you wouldn't believe that it had just rained out there at the site. And I tell you, rain came yesterday, and today the place is dry. You can actually see the dryness. It's as if we had no rain. And this is what the airport here at Argyle is like. So those of you who are worrying about flooding, it should be the furthest thing from your mind regarding the Argyle International Airport. Not the terminal building for sure. That will not be flooded. For that to be flooded, we have to have some negligence in the clearing and the cleaning of the drains around this site for that to happen. But I can tell you, once these are maintained, once the drains are cleaned properly and regularly, we will not have any flooding here regarding the terminal building at the Argyle Airport site. Here at the area where they're going to put the service garage, we see foundation has already been dug. It is line out, foundation dug, and I guess this is where they're going to put the structure for the workmen, where the garage is going to be, where the guys are going to do the work when the vehicle needs servicing and so forth. They have already concreted a large area, and I don't understand what it represents, but as time progresses, I know from the looks of things, yeah, the garage is going to be coming flush. The floor for the garage probably come flush with this area here, the wall that they have already built. And we are going to wait patiently and see exactly what takes place here. But this is the progress of the work here so far in this area of the site where they're going to build the service garage. Remember, the vehicle must need servicing, so this is the area where that garage is going to be, and it is falling south of where we have the Petroglyph hill, which is just at the back there. We have some benching there, and because of all the rain, we have the soil washing down the back of the fencing, so they will have to start to do some clearing behind there and so forth. I can't sit down inside there, but you can hear the sound of the water that you're hearing, it coming from the drain that passed from the south, coming across and ending up in this catchment area. And this is the area where we have the 191 that brings that small river flow that is coming down from the north of the terminal building, coming down here, and will be entering into the sea area to the south, away from the Argyle River. This is the manhole. We have 8 manholes here, so that you can always go down inside there easily and clean out these drains. Now the way this is being done, these precast slabs can be lifted off in the event that there is a blockage underneath. These precast slabs can be lifted off, and a piece of equipment could go down inside there, a backhoe or something, and or a bobcat rather, and clean out this rain. And this water flows all the way down to where you have just about north of those coconut trees and exiting into the river. Now the rest of the runoff water from the land area will be channeled through this point here, as you can see, where the direction of the water flow, the way the land has been graded. Some of the water from the north will be flowing through here, and some of it from the south will be flowing, some from the east and some from the west, flowing all the way back here to this 191 and exiting into the manhole. In the back here at the Petroglyph, we have the guys working on the fencing, and from what I'm seeing from this vantage point here, moving away from the 191 going towards the Petroglyph, I can see a lot of the poles in position, and the guys are currently putting up some meshes here at this area. Well, here we are at the Petroglyph Hill, and the fencing work is going on. The guys are putting in the mesh, and this fencing will be coming and linking to this one here, but this is as far as where they've gotten to. They're actually waiting on concrete, and from what I've gathered, something has gone wrong with the concrete mixer. That is the batching plant that mixes the concrete. So until that is fixed, no concrete in this area. But in the meantime, the guys are putting up the meshes. Where these poles are, they have to be filled with concrete, so no work on them as yet. The guys are working feverishly here at the Petroglyph area, because above on the bank up is quite dangerous, and I'm seeing some of them in hard hats. You know, some of them have on the red hard hats, while others are just barehead, no safety, and I don't know why. But this is what is taking place here currently at the site, and they're working fast to get away from all the problems with stones falling from above, from the top up there. So the river that was blocked, those, the third and the fourth tunnel on your left, which were blocked last week from the rain Thursday last week, they are now cleared, and the water is flowing freely through. There are still some stones inside, as you will probably see. But most of the water is flowing through the first, second and fifth tunnel. So now all the fencing meshes, most of them relating to the work that has been done so far here under the Petroglyph, the fencing are in position, except for a small section down at the back down there, and this small section that is left to be done. So by next Saturday when I return here, once the weather holds well in the week coming up and the concrete batching plant is functioning, because something is wrong with it why this area here has not been done today. You see, it is ready and waiting for concrete, but they cannot pour any concrete because the mixer, that is the concrete mixing plant, is not functioning. So until that is repaired, no work can be done here. But in the meantime, the areas where the poles are fitted in and already plastered at the side of the drain. Those areas are completed. All that is left now is the barbed wire and the razor wire at the top.
Hello, this is Flight 111. We are now arriving at Argyle International
Yet
Airport.
another tour of the Argyle International Airport site for Saturday the 8th of October 2016. So until we meet again next Saturday, which will be 15th of October, I want to wish you all the best, and I must apologize for not being able to post regular video update for you. Sometimes it's a bit difficult because I have to edit the clips and make sure that what I present in the end is of a reasonable quality so that you can understand. So please bear with me. I have the recordings of the various weekends, but I am not able to actually produce them as often or as regular as I used to. So I hope that you will understand, and I must thank you for viewing my videos and for subscribing to my YouTube page. And we all are looking forward in great anticipation for the opening and the operation of the Argyle International Airport. And just like you, I am eagerly looking forward to that. I am getting so accustomed to taking construction photos. I am ready now to take some operational photos of it. So until such time, I want to wish you all the best for the week and continue to view my page. My name is Sydney Morgan. Thank you very much.
Please get your education and build your country. Got to do it willingly, skillfully, intellectually. You can be what you wanna be. Determination is an asset for we. Oh, what a bright and glorious day, brothers and sisters. Yes, it's a bright and glorious day, mothers and fathers. When the first jet touched down on the Argyle runway, it's a joy to see. We witness history. Oh, what a bright and glorious day, brothers and sisters. For the meat to take over, we need more than bread and water. Yes, give us strength, oh Jaja, for us to read the next chapter. Oh, what a bright and glorious day. Hey, hey. What a bright and glorious day. Oh yeah. What a bright and glorious day. Yeah, yeah. What a bright and glorious day. Oh yeah. What a bright and glorious day.